What's up, you guys? This is Derpy, and today I'm really excited to bring you guys the first episode of PokeShowTime. And I know this channel is going to be a super fantastic channel because we're going to be having a lot of different Pokemon content, including like Wi-Fi battles, like LPs, and stuff like that. And it's going to be super fantastic. Huge props to iMurko, who's the guy who decided to create this channel and get a lot of YouTubers to collaborate. So good job to him for organizing all this. So, anyways, here's a battle I had against this guy on PO. I kind of just met him. He's a really cool guy. This turned out to be a very, very cool battle, which is an NU battle. And I'm running a really kind of weird experimental team in NU, so I'm basically relying on entry hazards and a lot of phase shifting, which might not seem like a legit strategy, but I think with with kind of like the lack of rapid spin in NU, it's a very viable strategy, you know. And if your opponent's not carrying taunt, then that's a bit unfortunate for them. And my opponent's actually using a very offensive team, so it's kind of a weird, you know, team like collision. But either way, hope you guys enjoy this battle. So I'm going to start with my Roselia, who is my main Pokemon that I'm going to use to set up entry hazards. So I'm going to set up a Toxic Spikes to first turn. I'm kind of expecting him to set up Stealth Rocks, but he actually goes for an Earthquake, which almost kills me, but I'm going to switch out and go into my Altaria, because I really don't want my Roselia to die this early in the game. I need my Roselia to at least set up one layer of Spikes. Maybe even more like Toxic Spikes or Spikes. I don't know. We'll see how long my Roselia can survive for. So now he's going to switch into Matang, probably predicting a status, which I do go for. I go for the Toxic, so that's a good play on his part. And now I feel like this Matang really can't do altogether too much to me, so I feel very safe going back into my Roselia, but he actually goes for a Pursuit here, which is very interesting. I've never actually seen Pursuit on Metagross or Matang before, so, but either way, it barely does anything to me, so I don't know, it really doesn't matter anyways. So I'm going to go back into Roselia, knowing that it's pretty safe. I'm really guessing he might have Stealth Rocks because his Torterra didn't have it. So I'm going to go for the Spikes, and he does go for Rocks, which is pretty cool. And now here, I should have gone for another layer of Spikes, but I didn't, and I went for a Leech Seed. And I think my reasoning behind this was that I kind of wanted to stall this Matang a little bit and kind of scat out this moveset, because I really just want one layer of Toxic Spikes, one layer of Spikes is like the bare minimum I need for my Roselia and for this team to work, because I have another Pokemon that can set up Stealth Rocks, and that'll be all the entry hazards I really need. But he is going to finish me off with an Earthquake right here, which is kind of unfortunate, but Roselia did its job. It really doesn't have any other purpose. So now I'm going to go into Onyx, who does have the Stealth Rocks and is one of my primary phase shifting Pokemon. So I'm going to go for my own Stealth Rocks right here, knowing that I can basically take a Meteor Mash or an Earthquake from this Matang, considering how physically bulky this Onyx is. I think with max defense, not bold nature, like calm nature, and like and Violite and all that other good stuff. I should be over 600 defense, which is absolutely insane. Look how well I take these meter matches, like 24%. That's absolutely insane. So I'm gonna go for the Roar right here, and I do roar him into his Pinsir, which is really nice. Pinsir, look how much damage Pinsir takes. That's absolutely ridiculous. Like Pinsir does not like being phase shifted in and out, so that's gonna be very helpful later on. So now I'm thinking that the close combat's really obvious, but I thought he might predict my switch into Altaria, so I thought he might go for a Stone Edge, but he actually just goes for a close combat, plays it safe, but I do live that close combat by just a smidgen of HP, which is totally cool because I'm going to go for a rest and basically get back all my HP that I just lost, so that's really awesome. And now I'm thinking that this Pinsir is like Choice Scarf, Choice Banded maybe, because that close combat looked like it did way too much to me. So I'm going to switch out and go into my Altaria, but he's actually going to know I'm going to switch out, so he's going to switch into his Torterra. Well, I do switch out as well, so it's kind of an interesting matchup. I mean, I feel like my Altaria can handle this Torterra fairly well, but I do want to scout out what kind of set this is, so I'm going to go for the Roost, just kind of scouting if he does have packed the Stone Edge. So I'm going to go for a Roost this turn, and I believe he actually goes for the Rock Slide, which is, you know, kind of like Stone Edge, I guess. So, but at least I do know that he does have a Rock-type move, so I can kind of keep my Altaria a little bit safe. But I also do carry the Cotton Guard, which gives me +3 in defense, so I really don't feel afraid going for it. And I was going to switch into Mr. Mime. I'm not sure why the sprite didn't show up. That's really odd. But either way, I'm going to go for the Cotton Guard because, you know, I figured that I could take those rock slides any day. Says Mr. Mime really confused me. I'm not really sure why he switched into Mr. Mime. But then he tricks me, and I'm like, oh my god, this is bullshit. But he actually tricks me a lagging tail, which is kind of cool. I mean, well, cool for him, not cool for me. I mean, I don't want to go last all the time. But I figured that, well, I'm going to be going last most of the time because I carry the roar, so, I mean, lagging tail, it's not that bad, but it's kind of a cool Mr. Mime set, I suppose. So, yeah, so now this turn, I'm going to switch out and go to my Skorupi. I'm not sure why. I'm thinking maybe because of like a toxic or something. I really don't know. Yeah, but he actually does go for toxic here. That's kind of funny. So yeah. So now I'm thinking I might be able to take a psychic from this thing, but I actually don't. That's really unfortunate because I think I am running max special defense with a Violite on that Scorpion. And the fact that I didn't take it in one hit, which is just really disappointing. But either way, I'm going to go with my Slowking now, knowing I can basically wall this Mr. Mime to death. Even if he does carry like Shadow Ball or anything like that, my Slowking should be able to take any hit with relative ease. Look at that Energy Ball. It does like a third of my HP. That's nothing. I can just slack off all the HP back, so it really doesn't matter too much. So I'm going to start going for some Calm Minds, knowing I can basically just set up on this like Mr. Mime without any problems whatsoever. So, now I feel like he's gonna switch out soon, but then again, I feel like I feel pretty safe going for Calm Minds because I don't think he really wants to switch a Pokemon into my Slowking's like Surf. So he's just gonna go for a Toxic, poison me. It's not that bad actually. Like I think I'm gonna be sweeping with this Slowking anyways, considering that he still does have that Pincer on his team. So and he's gonna just basically leave Mr. Mime in as fodder. That's probably the better play on his part. I mean, I don't know what else he would switch into. I do go for the Psyshock because I don't know. Psyshock is Psyshock. I mean, like, just in case he wanted to switch out, I suppose. But either way, he does go into Pincer now. Lives with like 1 HP, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to switch out. So I'm going to save my Slowking for later. I'm going to switch out and go into my Onix, who I know can take any hit from this Pincer, and he's actually going to go play safe, go for the X Scissor, but it really doesn't do too much to my Onix, which is very, very nice. And now that Pincer is going to die to the poison, so that's kind of like the benefit of having, you know, 1 layer of poison instead of 2 layers. So now he's going to switch into Torterra. Now I'm going to go for a Sleep Talk, I believe, because I am still asleep from the rest because, you know, the rest turns restart and stuff like that. And I do get the Lucky Roar right here. And I'm going to roar him out right into his Regice, which is once again going to take tons of damage from the Stealth Rocks and the Spikes and a Toxic Spike poison. So now I'm going to switch out and go into my Slowking because I really don't want to take the Ice Beam, but he's actually going to go for a Focus Blast, which I really don't see too much on Regice. Most Regis I see are like a special wall, but I guess this one is a little bit more offensive, which is kind of cool. But either way, I do take the Focus Blast or like, you know, the Ice Beam relatively well either way. But now he's going to switch into Matang. I'm not really sure why he wants to do this, but either way, I'm going to go for the Psyshock, hoping I can kill that Regice, because I know a Psyshock can kill it since it'll target the Regice's defense instead of its special defense, but he smartly goes into Matang like that. And now he's going to Pursuit Lock me. I know he's going to go for it, so I basically have to stay in. I'm just going to go for a Surf, which almost kills that Matang. And now I know I can live 1 more Pursuit possibly, so I'm just gonna keep staying in on this Matang. It really isn't that big of a deal, but it actually does kill me here, and I'm like, oh, that is unfortunate. So fortunately, I have to lose my Slowking there. Either way, I am gonna go into my Onix because I saw that Meteor Mash damage before only did about 20% to me, so I feel very safe switching to my Onix now. Gonna go for the Sleep Talk, but I don't think I get anything beneficial. Yeah, I get Stealth Rocks, which is definitely not something I want. But he's gonna go for the Meteor Mesh, which does miss, so it's kind of like a wasted turn, I suppose. And now he's gonna go. I'm gonna go for another Sleep Talk, and I get the rest, and I'm like, oh, come on, Onix, you can do better. But Meteor Mash, it's kind of doing a little bit. He's not really getting any attack raises from the Meteor Mash, which is kind of nice. And now I know I'm going to wake up this turn, so I'm going to go for the rest. Get back on my HP. He misses again with Meteor Mash. Wow, that's really unlucky for him. But I finally do get the Roar here, and now he's going to go into his Torterra. And I'm thinking I can live in Earthquake with Onix, because I also do carry the Sturdy ability. So even if I don't get the Roar this turn, I'm sure I can live in Earthquake, and then possibly hope I can get another Roar later on. So I don't get the Roar, I get the stupid Stealth Rocks, but I'm gonna have to fall back on my sturdy because he actually goes for the wood hammer, which, oh my god, that brings me down to 1 HP. That's really really powerful. Well, it is 4 times weak to. I am 4 times weak to that, so I mean, who figures, you know? So now he's gonna go back into Matang, who once again lives with like 1 HP. That's ridiculous. So now I do wake up this turn, and I'm gonna go for the rest. Basically, get back all my HP, and he is really frustrated right now because he can't take down this Onyx. It's really funny. So he thought I might switch out, so he's gonna go for the Pursuit, which does like nothing to me. Dang. So I'm gonna go for another Sleep Talk, and I'm basically just walling him to death. And yeah, get another useless Stealth Rocks move. Man, I don't know. Like, Onyx, it's a really gimmicky Pokemon, I suppose. I really like how it's fast, though, because it does outspeed this Matang, which is very, very useful. So now, I'm gonna go for another Sleep Talk, and hoping for another, like, Roar, but I get a Rest, and I'm like, okay, you know what? That's totally cool, because now that the Rest turns are up, I know I can just go for one last Roar, finally kill off the stupid Matang, and he is gonna bring him down to extremely low, but I'm gonna roar right here, and I know I can, so that's basically I'm killing this Matang, because he's gonna die from the Stealth Rock switch in, and now I'm gonna send him out into his Regice, and now this Regice only has basically 1 turn left to live, so I'm gonna go for the rest, get back to full HP, and he's gonna Ice Beam, bring me back down to sturdy, so I kinda bought like an extra turn of time to kill him with the poison, which is very, very nice. So now he's gonna go into Absol, and I'm like, okay, like, I really don't want to risk him setting up Sword Sand, so I'm just gonna stay in. He actually decides to pursue once again. It's like, man, he has a lot of pursuiters. But either way, I'm gonna go into my Lopunny, and he doesn't think my Lopunny can really do anything because it's a Lopunny. So he's gonna go for the Sword Stance, while I'm actually gonna go for the Circle Throw, which I'm sure he didn't see coming. And no, I'm gonna force him to switch out. His Matang dies to the incoming entry hazards, and now his Absol's gonna die to the incoming entry hazards as well. So that is going to be the game. So yeah, entry hazards team actually worked out pretty darn well. Unfortunate that Skorupi didn't really do much, but I mean, definitely the MVP of this battle has to be that Onyx. I'm telling you, like the fact that it could live so many like hits from that Pinsir, from that Matang, from the Regice, it's absolutely insane. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Definitely stick around with the PokeShowTime because I know it's gonna be a very very fantastic channel, kind of like Pokemosh Pit. So yeah, if you like this battle, go ahead check out my channel. I do post a lot of other various battles like these. So yeah, this is Herpeter. Be signing out. See you guys later.